Debit card.
The debit card.
Debit
They
card.
can customize it however they want their debit card to look.
And it all starts now, right here on A New Thing Live.
Are you ready?
Kyree, welcome to A New Thing Live. Today you're on the front end of the camera.
Hello. Hi, Cyndi. Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hello. It's so good to have you on here. And I'm so excited. As you know, this past week was National Teach Your Children to Save.
Yeah.
And so, we do have some great friends at The Abundant Life with their YouTube channel. And they're also in the process of getting ready to launch their book, which Money Mike is one of their characters. But until they can come back on the show, you and I were just talking and having conversation about some of the things that you grew up with, learning how to save, which I think is wonderful. I think parents should teach their kids how to save.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Right? Yeah. So talk to us about some of the things that you experienced growing up.
Okay.
As a child, and then we'll just go from there, girl.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I absolutely agree. The younger, actually, the better. And in fact, what I went through as a child is my parents actually signed me up for, okay, ready? A Looney Tune account. How cute is that? Like Bugs Bunny,
cute.
Daffy Duck. Yeah, a Looney Tune account. And so my dad, he was in the Air Force, and I'm guessing a lot of bases, they have credit unions. And so at every credit union, they have a Looney Tune program. It's a youth savings program, and it's to help teach kids how to do money. Anything money, from savings to checking to spending, like everything, even just, dollar amounts and, adding things together, math.
Which is crucial for kids.
Yes. We all need to know those things, right? I mean, that's not something that, like cursive, I'm sorry. I learned cursive in elementary, and I'm really sad that I don't have to use it now as an adult. I mean, they really pressed that into me, Cyndi, about cursive. Yeah. So unlike cursive, money management skills is something everybody needs to know, right?
Right, right.
I looked up a couple different banks that offer some youth saving programs.
Oh,
and
great.
I tried to find at least three, because there's quite a few of them, but I tried to find three that I feel would be most convenient to anybody in any territory. I know not everybody is out here in LA or Orange County. Some people live in small towns, like my family in Clovis, New Mexico. Hey, smaller towns that probably don't have certain banks. So I tried to go with banks that could be convenient to anybody. So the three that I chose, the first one is Chase. So Chase First Banking has a program for children ages 6 to 17, and they offer $0 monthly service fees. But with Chase Bank, you do have to have an account. So the parent or the guardian must have a Chase account in order for their child to have an account. The other one is Bank of America. They offer a minor savings account for children all under 18. Because guess what? Babies need a savings account too. And no, babies are not counting money, but you can start their investment for college when they're a baby. Even if that means $1 a day, $5 a week, that's going to add up. And then when they get ready,
$5 a month, $1 a week, $4 a month, $5 a month, it all adds up.
Yes, it all adds up. It all adds up. And then when they need that money, no matter when it is, whether their first car, their first date, they've got it.
College.
Yes, college, first house.
I put myself through college, bachelor's and master's, and I'm still paying for it.
Oh my goodness.
There was no money saved for my college education.
Yeah. I mean, I know to some people it might seem like a baby, really a bank account, but really if you invest early, it's going to
Yes.
pay off in the latter run. And
Absolutely.
another one, the last one I wanted to mention is a company called Greenlight. Now, this company was actually created by parents. So they have a debit card. It's just for kids. So this debit card, the parents can control on their phone using an app. They can add money to it, such as allowance, or like, as I was as a kid, I would tell my parents last minute, oh, hey, it's fill day and I don't have money. Or, hey, it's this and I don't have this. My parents can quickly send me $20, quickly send me $5 to take care of what I need,
Love it.
I'm not without it. Or if I'm on a field trip and, I lose something, my parents can be like, well, here's $50. It's sent to you. It's in my debit card. And then also when I use that debit card, they get alerts for that. So they see, oh, my daughter just used that at this location. Wait a minute, she's not supposed to be there. Let me give her a call.
Another form of parental control. I love it. That's brilliant.
But also something I thought was really cool about Greenlight. So you can attach your child's chores to Greenlight. And so when they finish certain chores, they get a perk. I was like, okay, that's really cool. Like everything is just on this debit card, and the debit card, you see my debit card, the debit card, they can
debit card.
The debit card.
Debit
They
card.
can customize it however they want their debit card to look. So if they want to put their face on it, if they want to put their favorite band on there, favorite color, whatever they want, it's their debit card. I thought that is just so
Mickey character.
Mickey.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun.
Mickey Minnie, Winnie the Pooh,
Goo, the goo,
really? The goof,
the goo,
the
Gorsh.
goof. Yes,
Gorsh.
so
Yeah.
we could go on and on for Disney characters. We have to have a conversation about Disney characters another time.
We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. Okay.
But that's just 3 of many different companies that offer youth savings programs. If you just Google minor savings programs, youth saving programs, even like baby investment bank accounts, there's going to be so many banks that pop up, especially if you're in a smaller town. It might be best for you to do that so you can see, hey, my bank actually does provide that. I can set that account up and then start investing in my child. I mean, who doesn't want to invest in their child? I don't even have a child and I want to invest in my child. Who doesn't want to do that?
Well, and that brings a good point, because you might even have kids in your life. I remember a really good friend of mine. He was one of my very best friends as a young adult. And when he and his wife had their first daughter with their first baby, I invested and I opened up a savings account for her as an infant. Yeah. Unfortunately, that bank is closed and I don't even know what happened to that savings account, but absolutely. And I think, again, it just goes back to, even for me, not really being around that whole type of like, it's important to save. I was actually taught it was important to give your offering at church. And I never really understood the concept of tithe and offering until I got older. But I would always take an offering to church. I knew that I gave a little portion of what I did have to the Lord. And so, I'm thankful for that, because that still carried on. And then it opened up to the whole new, world of tithing and offering.
Right.
But other than that, I didn't really, again, in my household now, my dad, my biological dad, is very big on saving, as are our Galley family. And what my dad did was, he wasn't directly involved in raising me, but what he did do was he bought me several savings bonds. And, I think, which is great, but I think one of the downside of that is me not really understanding that the value increases over an X amount of time, years of just not touching it. And sometimes we needed it. My mom was a single mom. Sometimes I needed to use it to help out. Yeah. And then quite honestly, it might even be a couple of them were in a box somewhere in the garage. Like, I just don't even know what happened to all of those savings bonds. But you're absolutely right. Like, you can start today, you can start small. you
Right.
know?
And again, if just like what you were talking about, if you would have known the importance of investing in those savings bonds and letting them build up, you would have done that. We can tell kids that, like, we have to give kids credit. Kids are smarter than we think.
Yes.
So we just let kids know, this is what this means. This is how we manage money. Like, yeah, I know you want to spend it on this now, but if you save it, then you can get this later. Like,
yes,
we need to teach these principles now, so that way they're not adults like us learning as adults.
Yes. Yes, it's so true. And I'm thinking of an episode of a show that I used to watch when I really wasn't, walking upright and in this particular episode, the character had the opportunity to no longer rent, but to buy, and she didn't have any money to buy a house. Oh. She had over $40,000 worth of shoes, but she did not. And so, being a single female, sometimes I can understand, especially living in Southern California, it's like you live sometimes from paycheck to paycheck and just a really tight budget. And so I think that's so important, just to give the kids the understanding at a very young age that it is good to save. This is how we save. This is what saving looks like. You can, I remember not one of my best friends, but my best friend, her and her husband had this motto, and it was live like no one else right now so that you can live like no one else later.
I love that.
And so for the first 10 years of their marriage, they lived on a property on his parents' land, and it was very small and confined and one bedroom. I mean, I don't even know if it was 500 square feet. I mean, it was very small.
Got it.
And yet, when that 10 years-ish were done, they were able to buy a brand new house in North Carolina, in Charlotte, all cash, paid for in full, paid for their cars in full. And so now they don't have the monthly pressure that a lot of homeowners currently have of, I got to make the rent, I got to make the rent, I got to make the rent. For me, that was such a beautiful example. And sometimes I may want to purchase something or, go this route, maybe something a little bit more out of my price range. And then I always think, live like no one else now, even at 51, gonna be 52 in a couple of months, but live like no one else now.
So good.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, girl. So that you can live like no one else later. So yes, I love that. And so true. So good. Teach your kids now the importance of saving and even shopping, like I am now. That's one thing. I am an avid clearance shopper. I go to my favorite stores and I will go to the clearance rack.
Oh yeah.
Actually, let me reverse a little bit. I think this probably started, I was already in my 30s when I just had this whole understanding of like, just the importance of waiting. Like you don't need to have it right now, but there is something to be said about waiting for something that you really want. So I would go at that time, my favorite store was Banana Republic. So I'd go into Banana Republic and I go, oh, I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that. And then what I would do is I would wait. And I'd go back in a month and see, is it on sale yet? Is it on clearance? Is it on the clearance rack? And that's how I shopped in my young adult years, was that delayed gratification. That's such an underestimated word that a lot of people don't even know the word. They don't understand the meaning and the value behind delayed gratification. Wait a bit for it. You don't need it right now.
Because we're all Veruca Salts right now. We're in a generation of Veruca Salts. I want it and I want it now. Give it to me now. Like that commercial. It's my money and I want it now. People
well, if it is your money. So but so true. And so just that whole idea of delayed gratification, and clearance shopping, bargain hunting. And you know me, you know your girl, she loves to thrift shop. And so that's the other thing. So I don't like to pay full price. I rarely pay full price for anything unless it's just something that I really, really need. Or even then, though, I will wait. When the CDs came out, I waited before I got a CD player. When DVD players came out, I waited a year before. I'm like, no, I still got me some good VHS movies. My VHS player works. So I'm not that person that has to go out and buy the newest and the latest. And I'm definitely not the person that needs to keep up with the Joneses, which is a whole other segment. Because I think a lot of people fall into that trap of wanting to keep up the appearance, and they're spending more than they need to when they could just cut back and do with what they have and be faithful, be good stewards with what they have. All of that I've learned in my after 30s, like late 30s and then 40s, it was solidified. Like, oh, I don't need to have everything right now. In fact, my iPhone, I've already had it for almost 3 years. It's still the 8 Plus. It still works well. Now I might be doing an upgrade, but for almost a year, Verizon's been saying you need an upgrade. You qualify for an upgrade. And I'm like, it still works. I have a lot of storage on there.
Yeah.
Now I think for photo and filming purposes, it would behoove me to get a better camera. But I can wait till the summertime again.
Right.
The 12 Pro Max is out and I'm still rocking my 8 Plus and glad to do it.
Woo!
My faithful phone. But yes, just the power of showing the kids, shopping. And you had mentioned even some fun little activities that you used to be a part of when you were younger growing up as well.
I did. Well, one of the things that we used to do as kids is me and my brother used to collect quarters. So there was a time, I don't know if you remember, when they had quarters and, everybody had quarters, but each of the back of the quarters were different. Like they had different presidents on each of the back of the quarters. So during that time we had a book and we would fill up our quarter book and try to collect all of that stuff.
Yes, I do remember that. I remember having a little book probably about the size of a passport or like the little size of a little bank account savings. And then, yes, you would put your little quarters in there and you just feel like you were the richest person on the earth.
Hot stuff. I have Thomas Jefferson and my little book. I'm a little book. You don't have Thomas Jefferson, but I do. But something else, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but then also even when you're shopping, I think that's an important opportunity to teach your kids, when you're taking them to the market with you, just the value of price, right? Portion, price, amount, ounces.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And as like a preschool teacher too, I always tell my parents to involve your children in those decisions. Your children in that stuff, because it really does make them feel like they have a huge part in the family and that they can help and pick up these things. And then when you're teaching them about money management, and they see all these soaps, you can explain to them, this soap is nice, but it's like $7. This soap over here is $3 and it does the same exact thing. We're going to choose the $3 one because it's going to save us $4. Money management teaches them subtraction, addition, all that stuff.
So good. So shopping, right? I mean, who doesn't need to learn a thing or two as we're shopping? Let's go shopping and practice the whole principle of saving.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right?
I'll meet you at Zara.
Yes. Actually, and one of the things I do remember, and then we're going to transition into something a little bit more, well, this is fun too, but I do remember my mentor, my pastor years ago, and at that time he was my boss, and I was probably in my early 30s, maybe late 20s, I can't remember, but it was in the 1990s, like somewhere between 95-ish, and I remember, showing him like, oh, I got this, or even maybe telling him what I had purchased, and the question that he had asked me was, had you budgeted for that? Because I said, I saved X amount of dollars. And the question was, well, did you plan on buying that? Like, was that already budgeted for? I was like, no. And then he said, so then actually, even though you think you saved money, you really didn't save money. You you lost money because it was, and I was like, no, but I saved money. Yes. But if it was something you hadn't planned on purchasing and it wasn't in your budget, then you lost it. And then it just kind of like locked in like, oh, wow, that's so good. So sometimes we need to be sure that we are, actually not sometimes, we need to make sure we're budgeting for these things and for these items so that you really do save money.
Yeah.
But if you're buying something that you didn't plan on buying, then you've actually spent, and that's money gone that cannot be replaced. And so I think that is so great. And I'm so excited about Money Mike coming out,
Yes.
I know their books are rolling out soon. And then of course, one of their cute little characters is the little Miss, Piggy. And that's just a basic, simple, easy way to save is with the piggy bank. In fact, I have a piggy bank somewhere in my boxes. I just moved not too long ago. So, but she's a cute little rose gold pink piggy. And, and sometimes it's just with a dollar, a couple of quarters, and then before you know it, it's full. Break that bad boy open and see how much you have in there. I think something else that someone that I knew did years ago is anytime, and a lot of people don't use cash anymore, but this was more in a time when it was more, they weren't so much in the cashless society. They were, a lot of what we purchased was used either check or cash. And what they had done is any leftover change they had, all the change just went somewhere. And they had like over $100 in change, and so even don't underestimate the value of a penny. Or a nickel or a dime, because at the end of the day, it all totals up. And even if that's how you want to show your kids, to not underestimate the value of even a penny. In fact, tonight after the show, I'm doing a fun virtual live sale, from my closet. Yes. And, even those types of things, like repurposing things, and then not just, some people just go, I'm just going to throw it away, or I'm just going to, now, yes, I also do enjoy donating as well. But sometimes if you feel like things are a little tight or a little snug, what are some things that you can do? And I remember just having a whole aha moment of selling what I have that I'm no longer using. It doesn't need to be accumulated. Some people just accumulate. And then it just becomes this heavy load as you move from place to place to place,
right.
Which is kind of what happened in my situation. Although, to be fair, I do run fashion magazine and teen fashion magazine, and I've always had this desire to open up a little tea room, a little tea house. And so I have so many Chinaware, teacups and saucers and things like that. And so, with the pandemic and all of that, am I going to open up my little tea room? I don't know. I'm not closed off to the idea, but it's not going to happen this year.
Well, also speaking of, pandemic and selling too, I mean, if having a garage sale doesn't really float your boat right now, there are other services where you can sell, like Poshmark, OfferUp. There are places where you could just take a really nice picture of, an item of clothing that you don't wear anymore and post it on the site, and they take care of everything else for you. So there are ways that you can get your stuff sold, even if, out on your front lawn isn't your thing, which it's my thing.
Exactly. It used to be my thing pre-pandemic, but that's exactly why I'm doing virtual is, I've got Venmo, I've got PayPal, I have Poshmark, I have Etsy, all these different ways where you can just, somebody can purchase your items, your merchandise, your product, and then, and then you don't have to deal with all the exchanging of the money. So, well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you just wanted to hop on and just share, you were like, I've got some great ways. I've got some great things that I did as a child and even being a teacher. These are some of the things that I've taught my kids. And so I so appreciate you coming on. And then I've got some great news. We're going to transition now a little bit, no longer talking about the money and the saving. In fact, we're going to probably go into a little bit of the spending side of things now. But word has it on the street that this Friday, Disneyland is opening up their doors. Yes.
Best mouse in the house. Best mouse.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So excited. This is why I'm wearing my little festive sparkly sequins to go with my little rose gold ears. And I even have my fun little cup.
Ooh, I brought my matching backpack.
Oh yes, my little backpack is up in my closet. But this fun cup again. We had Cali Girl Crafts on our show about a month ago, and she was so sweet. She made this just for me. She customized it.
And
so for those, right? So cute, Cali Girl Crafts. And so I'm going to try to pull her information up as before the end of this segment. But so excited. I mean, Disneyland has been in lockdown as the rest of the world has been for over a year. I know that Disney World has been open a lot longer.
Yeah.
Disney Resort in Florida. Quite a few friends that have gone out there just to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us that have been pass holders, this has just been a really wow, this has been a crazy time. And for me, having lived in Anaheim all of the years that I have and working in Anaheim, I have to say that it was a heartbreaking silence to not hear the fireworks after I'd heard them for years. I can go back to 2005, 2004, 2003. I lived in Anaheim. I think this is when I first moved to Anaheim. It was 2003, and so year after year, night after night, hearing these fireworks, and then all of a sudden, just to not hear them anymore. It's been crazy. In fact, Anaheim, the Angel Stadium has reopened as well. The Dodger Stadium has reopened, so it's so exciting that a lot of these places that house large numbers of people are reopening up again. And so I did hear some fireworks the night that the Angel Stadium, and I said, oh my goodness, the Angel Stadium is open. I was so excited.
I know.
So excited, just living a couple of miles away from there. And so I don't think, from what I understand, it sounds like Disney fireworks are not going to be right out the gate. Now I don't
just because normally the fireworks come after parades or after a show, and that's mass crowding. So I could imagine probably no, even though there is a chance they might just close the park and then do fireworks. But then you've been at Disneyland where people who can't even get into Disneyland, they stay in that section between California and Disneyland.
Well,
so I'm sure
it seems like from what I'm understanding is that fireworks are not going to be out the gate. They won't be having them out the gate. So, but I'm just so excited, and I actually looked online, and it looks as though there are still tickets that are available for this Friday's opening. So I was surprised because I thought for sure it would already be sold out. Now, by the time we're watching this tonight live on the show, I probably will give an update to that. And by now I may have already given an update to that. But anyway, just so excited. I know you and I have gone to downtown Disney a couple of times. And even then, of course, it just feels so different. A lot of the stores closed. And then it just not being as busy, even half as busy as what we know it to be, having been a pass holder for years, almost 20 years, I've been a pass holder. I don't even, you're probably.
And one of my favorite things, as a pass holder, was people watching.
Yeah.
And so, when there's not a lot of people to watch, how many of us pass holders, we literally would just go to the park and get a special treat and find a nice bench and sit there and watch people. But
that was especially the times I would go by myself. Because, when you have a pass holder and you're single, then you can do that. And that was one of the things I just love, being able just to go by myself, walk through at my own pace. And I would just go sometimes for that hot chocolate, my abuelita's hot chocolate. And, or sometimes I would just crave my little chocolate covered frozen banana. Just, those little treats and things that we definitely, took for granted for those of us that lived out here.
Yeah.
But it is great news. I probably will not be a pass holder. I don't even know. Do you have any updates on the pass holder situation? Are
As
they
of
going to
right
be having?
now, no, they're not doing.
Okay.
They don't have any updates on the pass holder. But right now, just for ticketing for Disneyland, it's just California residents, and then the ticket prices really are not that bad. I mean, I saw
No.
145, so
Yeah,
it's really
they're starting at 145 is what the one for this Friday
yeah.
was for
But it
145.
is
So, well,
one park. It's not both. So
yes,
that's probably why it happens
yes,
on Fridays, because DCA is the one that's available, not Disneyland.
yes,
Disneyland's the one that's been
yes,
closed. That's why everybody's like,
yes,
I have to go there.
yep.
But it's
Yes, no,
okay.
super excited. Yes. And so let me see. Let me just make sure to get tickets or to get more information, you'll want to go to disneyland.disney.go.com
Yes.
or just go to Google and just do a search for Disneyland tickets or Disneyland reopening. And it's all very simple, easy to navigate. So
Yeah.
we're excited for those of us that are out here in the SoCal area. If you do go to Disneyland, please let us know. Say hi to some of our favorite characters. I don't even know how that's going to, I know that they said there's going to be no hugs. So I would imagine that that's, from the characters and rightly so. A really dear friend of mine works at Disney. She's on the executive management side of things. And so she's just been filling me in. And she's like, it is crazy right now what we're doing to gear up. But she's like, but we're so excited. I mean, this has been, because really, I remember back a year ago, she had told me that they thought they were going to reopen in the summer. And then that just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so this is a celebration, not just for Southern California, but all of you Disney lovers and those of you who love Mickey and Minnie, our favorite mouse duo.
Favorite meows.
Yes. And so, Kyree, thank you so much for being joining us today, which will be tonight. Thank you for just sharing your heart with us about how to help kids save. And then I'm going to see you. Actually, I've already seen you now because now you're on the backside helping to produce the show.
Well, it's great to be on the front side,
Yes.
a couple times,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. It's great to, be like, hey, I'm so
yes. Well, I always love having you on here. So we'll have to have you back sooner than later. But thank you so much. So much love to you, everybody. Kyree McField. All right. Thank you, Kyree.
How much fun was that? So we were able to talk about all things. Of course, the most important thing that we addressed were just the power and the importance of teaching your kids to save. And so we do have some of that information. Hey there, Lisa from Wisconsin, and Brenda from New Mexico, Pat from Anaheim. I just see all of the different places popping up. But we're just going to go ahead and first of all, with what Kyree was sharing for the parents is greenlightcard.com. greenlightcard.com, and what a wonderful resource for parents to teach your children, or even if you have kids in your life, maybe you're not a parent, but you have an influence in the lives of some of the children in your life. Greenlightcard.com. What a wonderful resource. And then for those of you that are in the Orange County area, SoCal, be sure to go ahead and look up if you feel brave enough to give it a try. And if you've been longing and doing the countdown until the days we could get our feet back on the Disney property, then go ahead and get your tickets from disneyland.disney.go.com. And then you'll just click around, or you can just do /tickets, and then that'll be there for you as well. So now we are wrapping up. I want to thank you again so much for being a part of tonight's show. And we do believe in you. Hey, if you have a prayer request, please, hello@anewthinglive.com. Email us. We want to pray with you, or anything else. You may say, hey, we have a great idea. Have a great idea for a show or a great idea for a segment. Have you ever thought about this? I get some of those too, which I absolutely love. I think that's wonderful. I have people texting me saying, oh, I met this wonderful person who does this. Just thought they might be a great connection for you for your show. So I really appreciate all of you just for your participation and being an active part of a New Thing Live tribe, because that's what we are. We is a tribe. But if you have not yet subscribed to us, would you do that? Head on over to YouTube. For those of you that are already on YouTube, as soon as we're done, would you hit that subscribe button? Make sure not only to subscribe, but tell your friends about it. Anywho, do subscribe to us at A New Thing Live on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. We are on Instagram. We are A New Thing .live on Instagram, A New Thing .live. So do follow us there. And we're just so excited that you were with us today. Thanks for setting some time aside for us on a Monday night. And also to Kyree McField, who came on earlier today in that segment with me on how to help your children save. If you didn't catch that, it's really great resource. She shared a lot of different fun things you can do with your kids. And she shared some great resources on even opening up little bank accounts and really teaching your kids how to save. So thank you so much for that, Kyree. She's also our segment producer, so double thanks to her. And now, as we talked about Disneyland opening this Friday, which is why I have this on, because it matches my rose gold Disney ears. Okay. And then I have my little rose gold cup brought to you from Cali Girl Crafts. And, but I wanted to sing a little song. So when I was a little girl, I loved the Mickey Mouse Club. And I'm talking the OG. I'm talking the Annette Funicello Mickey Mouse Club. And then, of course, I got a little older, 7 or 8 years old. And then it was the all-new Mickey Mouse Club with like Lisa Welchel. It was the Curtis and Angel and Shantae. If any of you can remember any of those, please do a shout out on there and go, yes, I remember them. I don't remember the whole list, but I do remember those few on there. I'm not going to give any more names because I could be wrong from that point on. But I've always just had this huge affinity, of course, being raised in California, going to Disneyland since I was a little girl. And then in my, early 30s, getting my first annual pass, and then just having Disneyland in my backyard and being an annual pass holder. I've just been, I guess, kind of a little bit spoiled. So when everything happened with the pandemic and just shut everything down, as Kyree and I were sharing, it just was such a heartbreaking thing to no longer hear the fireworks and just to know that the life as we had known it had stopped even at Disneyland. It just seems like, oh my goodness, even at Disneyland. Now I know that Disney World opened up sooner. And so even some loved ones of mine have gone over there and taken some wonderful pictures. But Disneyland, y'all, is opening up here in Anaheim this Friday. So I'm going to sing my little song that we used to sing, that Annette Funicello and the Mickey Mouse Club that I used to sing to. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. MIC. See you real soon. KEY. Why? Because we like you, love you. MOUSE. So that was to all the Mickey Mouse Club fans out there. I'm personally a goof. He's my favorite. But I wanted to say goodbye, Disney style. Have a wonderful week. Remember to keep your heart open to that new thing that God has in store for you. We love you. You can do it. You're stronger than you know. And we will see you next Monday night at 7 p.m. PT on A New Thing Live.
Are you ready?
Hey, help us get the word out about our new show. Subscribe today, right now, to A New Thing Live.